Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Coffee Talk. I hope you guys have your coffee ready. Just see this cute little mug my bestie Laura Bewer got me. I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of fuzzy, but it said, I wish we lived closer and had our two states on it. Isn't that cute? Um, Michelle, I see you're in the car this morning. Geneva, sweetheart, I'm going to decline that meeting bot. And oops, then she popped out.
I already,
Uh,
I already did.
Thank you. I do not like you guys, these meeting bots. They mess with Zoom. Zoom doesn't like them, I should say. Zoom doesn't like them. Okay, so this is our weekly call. Every week at 10 a.m. my time, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, we meet to have a very casual conversation about our marketing efforts in our business. And we are going to do that in just a second. But first, I wanted to remind you guys that today is the day that I am revealing the winner of the Q1 prize on our leaderboard at Skool, which is $250 cash money going to the person on the leaderboard. And now she knows why I asked her to be a part of this call this morning. So let me just tell you guys something. Jen Cooper and I with JKC Mobile Notary, we met in person 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It's
I think it's more like 3 years, but yeah.
Yeah, for the first time. It was at Laura's symposium, Laura Bewer's last symposium. We had a chance to finally meet in person, and we have been, um, working together a little bit back and forth. You guys were in NBB, she was always there helping us, helping to manage meetings. And it seems like such a small thing on the outside. But you have absolutely no idea when you're hosting a call how important it is to have somebody that you don't have to say, hey, mute that person, or hey, get rid of this comment, it's inappropriate, or whatever it is. It is it helps keep me on track as someone that has ADD and gets distracted very easily, as you guys know. And it is absolutely invaluable when she comes on every week now with TNT. She's there helping us, Laura and I. She comes on these calls with regularity. And honestly, when I launched Marketing4Notaries, relaunched it after Notary Business Builder closed down, she literally for a couple of months held my hand through the process because you guys may or may not know I was grieving hard about the whole thing, and it was not an easy transition for me personally. So, Jen, I just wanted to say publicly thank you so much for being, and not just an amazing support, but being such a good friend and helping me through some really challenging times and getting our community rolling. It was because of you that Marketing4Notaries, when we launched back in early December, you got that ball rolling. And I just really wanted to take a minute and say thank you in front of everybody on the call, because you will never know. I will never be able to fully express how grateful I am that you keep that conversation going. And the $250 Q1 prize, I could not be happier that I am sending that to you today when we get off this call. So congratulations, Jen. All
Thank
your
you
efforts
so
paid
much.
off getting in there and talking to everybody.
Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. It's not
You're
necessary and it's not required, but I'm grateful. Thank you very much.
Well, you have earned it. And she kept everything going. She kept conversations going when I was behind the scenes pounding away trying to create things, and it made all the difference, Jen. So thank you so much, and still such a great support in our community. So Jen, Q1 prize is going to you today. I will be zelling you $250 immediately after this call. So woo! You are
Yeah, thank
$250
you.
richer. I And I know you didn't do it for
Okay.
the money. You don't even need to say that because I know that's what you're thinking right now. But I realize that is not the case, that you did it from your heart. But I love giving away things and I love rewarding people for their hard work and being engaged in a community that is specifically about marketing. That's kind of next level. That's all of us are people that have been through this process of trying to push our businesses forward. And it's funny because I'm looking at you guys and I don't think, Mike, you and I have never had a one-on-one, have we? Like we've never talked just one-on-one? He might just be listening in, but I I've talked to you guys and I know the struggles and I've shared with you my business struggles. Being an entrepreneur is freaking hard, man. It is not easy. So spending the money to join a community that is focused on just that one thing, marketing, tells me a lot about your level of give a shit about your business. If I'm just going to be honest, I couldn't think of anything else but give a shit in that moment because it tells me that you guys know you need something more for your business and you want to stay in it. And even when it's bad, and we've all had bad days, every single one of us on this, we've all had bad months, let's be honest, or bad
Mm-hmm.
quarters, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we have a place that we can come to find fresh ideas, share what's working, share what isn't working. That's kind of next level business thinking. So, to all of you guys for getting in there and making this community what it is, thank you so very much. We are now going to move to 30-day leaderboard contests.
Good.
I was going to wait until we got to 150. But the truth of the matter is, it's going to be better for all of us if we move to, from my perspective and your perspective, a 30-day leaderboard. So when you go into Skool, and I just want to point this out to you guys, I'm going to share my screen really quick so you guys can see this. So there's no confusion here. Okay, can you guys see my screen for Skool? All right. So
Yes.
if you come over here to the right where it says leaderboards, and this is where we have an all-time leaderboard. So obviously this is what we farmed today's information from because we said it was going to be our first quarter. And while the quarter is not over yet, Richard Anderson called me out on that on our one of the posts. It was so funny. While the quarter is not over yet, this really kind of started back in December when we first launched. So that is why Jen won. She had 863 points, and second place came in Carol Ringwald with 751, and then 333 with Kat Plumunden. These guys, and so many of you have been on gathering up your points, and that's the whole mindset behind the Skool platform is it forces engagement. The more we engage, the more we're sharing ideas, the more we are learning from each other, the more we enrich our lives and our businesses. So moving forward, we're going to start, and that's from today. We are going to start on actually, scratch that. I need to look at the calendar because I need to reset this. So I will update you guys soon on the actual day this is going to start. But I need to find out when Skool starts their days. I haven't looked at that yet. So Cynthia in Montana would have been our 30-day winner today by accumulating 62 points. How do you accumulate points? Well, it's getting in there and engaging. I used to have the videos under lockdown and you had to get to a certain point to get to the videos. And then I realized I can't let engagement keep people away from learning. And so those have all been unlocked now. This all comes from your participation in the groups, in the discussions, in the chats that we have here in our community forum that happens right here on this main page. Does anybody have any questions about the leaderboard, how it works, how you accumulate points, or any of that stuff? I want to make sure we're all clear on it. Obviously, I'll be sending out an email to everybody in the group about this, so that we know the exact start date and some tips and ways to get you engaged. So it's not just you feeling like, because this is not what I want. I don't want anybody to be like, oh crap, I got to get on Marketing for Notaries today and engage so I can win a prize. That's not the point. It should be more like, I want to share my experiences and I want us to be able to learn from each other. And Jen's going to give me a prize if I, engage a lot. So next month's prize has not yet been determined. I can tell you, because our membership right now is sitting at 86. I can't do another 250, you guys, because I got to pay my bills too. I know you understand that. But it is going to be something, and I will get that out there. And we're going to have a few little contests sprinkled throughout the year as well. To that point, our upcoming contest that I will be announcing today is a USP contest. Who here, by show of hands or reactions, has written their USP? Universal selling proposition, elevator pitch, right? This is a must-have, absolute must-have in your business. One of the best ones that I love to put her on the spot with, and she's rolling her eyes right now because she knows it's coming, is Shayla, because she did this in a poem. Do you have it memorized still, Shayla?
Oh, yes, I do.
Can you share it with us, please? Because this is gold, you guys. I love this.
While it may be bizarre, be consigned in a car. Um, be consigned in a park or even after dark. One big perk, we can meet you at work or relax and unload and be consigned in your humble abode. My name is Shayla Zimmerman with Unwritten Mobile Notary Services. I am your one-stop mobile shop for all of your notary needs, notarizing when and where is convenient for you.
I just love that. You can't help but smile. I'm looking at all of your faces. Everybody's smiling when they get it. And you did this a few years ago. It's a couple, 2, 3 years ago now, Shayla, right?
Yep, it is my staple anytime I walk into a new room, and yes, no, people love it. So, and then they remember me as the rhyming notary or the cat in the
Absolutely.
hat notary or Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, but it's such a catchy, that's why people remember songs, because it creates a pattern of that rhyme in your head. And the more people hear it, the more they're going to remember it. And it's such an outstanding way. And I'm not suggesting you guys have to do a poem. I know not all of us are poets. But the elevator pitch, the universal selling proposition, is such a powerful tool in business. A lot of When we first started talking about this years ago, a lot of folks thought that it was one thing you memorized and you just regurgitated it like a robot every time you're at a networking function. And while that broadly, if you look at that broadly, that is true. Um, Reciting something like a robot does not make people feel warm and fuzzy to you, right? And that's why I talk about practice, 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 practice in the mirror, and recording yourself on Zoom and other ways that we talk about our USP delivery in our USP training. So let me show you again where you can find that, because you're going to need this for this particular contest. So you're going to come over here to the classroom. And of course, first thing you see is the 5-point marketing system. Just as a reminder, here's your marketing calendar for the whole year, call replays here, and then boom, how to write your elevator pitch. The entire series is up here for you. It's actually not a series, it's only one video, but the entire thing is up here, and it is a workshop style video, meaning we stop, you write stuff down, You come back and, we continue to move through the process. So I'll have all the rules and prizes and everything for this later today. So be sure to look at that, because I want us to all really get in there and experiment practicing on each other, because there is no safer place than us together practicing your USP. We get it. Those of us that have done it know how intimidating it is. And we are a safe, non-judgmental place for you to practice this USP, so that anytime somebody asks you, Michelle, what do you do for a living? You will be able to rattle off some version of your USP to them and let them know exactly what you do. Now, Shayla, you know that you have my favorite USP of all time. So I'm gonna have to create like a separate rule for you. I don't know. Jen Cooper's talking about creating a wrap in the chat. Oh boy, this is gonna get interesting.
I had
Um,
actually earlier this year, or like, no, last year, I had created like a second part of it. So
Fabulous, fabulous. I may use yours as an example, if you
that's
don't
fine.
mind.
I can
If
send it
that's
to you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I would love to use yours as an example, because it doesn't have to be stiff. We all, and this is the thing I really want everybody in our community to know and really let this sink in. You should be allowing your personality to shine when you are delivering your USP. It should not be stiff and straight and robotic and blah, 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 blah. Nobody wants to hear that. Let your personality shine through. Let them know how passionate you are about your business, because I know each and every one of you are passionate about your business, every single one of you. And this program inside the classroom, this video is going to help you walk through it. NBBers, you're going to recognize it, but I still want you going through it again. This is something I feel very strongly about, that at least once a year, you should be going, just like you check on your insurance once a year, make sure you're not overpaying, just like check different quotes for different things every year for your personal life and your home. You should be checking this USP once a year. As we go through the year and we add new services, we add new lines of revenue and business, we learn new things, we become more comfortable. And so working on this yearly, I think, is really going to help all of us perfect this and this whole system. And that's why our next contest, we will be having a leaderboard contest as well, but for communication inside the app. But we are also going to have a contest about our USP. Anybody have any questions? I will get into all the details later in an email that's going to go out to the group. Any questions or comments about that? Awesome. And hopefully you guys that don't have your USP, your elevator pitch ready, this is really going to make a difference in your business and help you deliver the message you want to deliver when you're out networking, when you're popping in, when you're just talking to people and they ask you, hey, what do you do for a living? You'll be able to deliver a quality message to them. All right, guys. Oh, Jen had a question. The ranking, there's no more winning. Like everybody's re-eligible when we restart a new contest. Nobody gets pulled out. Um, we start from ground zero. And like I said, I'm still in the process of working out the next leaderboard contest, because I've been focused on getting things ready for the USP contest. So in the next, day, you guys will have all of this information, but nobody's excluded from winning because they've won something in the past. Nothing makes me happier than seeing you guys work to win these contests and be able to send off a little gift. Like I was so excited. Richard won a t-shirt a couple of weeks ago, just a t-shirt. And I was so excited to send that to him. And hopefully he's wearing that with pride, his Marketing for Notaries t-shirt. But I'm here to answer your marketing questions for spring. Who's got them? What can I help you with? Anybody?
Are those crickets?
Crickets. Shayla, you got something?
I am working with the person that helped create my logo. So we are working on or adding a couple of different things. So I recently finally launched a website.
Yay.
So working on my business cards to get those updated with my headshot and my website.
Yeah.
And then a few other marketing materials, just so that way I am ready for when I do hit places.
Yeah.
So excited about that. So yeah, I'm doing a business card, a leave behind card that'll be like a business card to help
Yeah.
maybe generate some reviews.
Okay,
And
perfect.
then like a postcard to leave at maybe title offices and stuff regarding my services and whatnot. And then a trifold for general notary work.
I love that, but you're still popping in, right? To deliver this in person?
Shayla's absolutely terrified of popping in
Yeah.
and, doing, the 30-second elevator pitch in a big room versus a 30-second elevator pitch to, you know, a receptionist or, an attorney. I
Mhm.
mean, in a single person setting, I melt. I
Okay. So listen, that's okay. I get it. Um, Not everybody is going to get to the point where they're like, I'm totally comfortable doing the pop-ins. Have you done the pop-ins before?
I have it a few years ago, like would try to drop off like cookies, and a business card and but it doesn't feel like it ever went anywhere. I mean, I got like one job out of it and then it was just like I never got called again to do another job. So it's like maybe it was worth it for the one job, but
Mhm.
when you want to have more of that business, it just kind of starts to fall flat.
Can I ask you if you followed up regularly for 12 months after doing that pop-in? Okay.
Okay.
So this is where the disconnect comes in, Shayla, with popping in, because you are 100% correct. Bye, Pam. I know you got to go. We'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Um, you're absolutely right. It's terrifying to do a pop-in and you work up all that energy to just freaking open the door. Like just opening the door makes your whole insides like, oh my God, what am I doing? This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. The pop-in is not what gets you the business. The fact that you got business from a pop-in is freaking awesome. Like that's not the norm. The pop-in is for people to just see you. And I know you concentrate on home loans. So it's for the title companies to see that you are professional in your presentation. Because the title companies that want professional representation, and they're usually, the smaller ones, not the big guys like Fidelity Title that's just going to use their own signing service for it, right? They have so much business they don't have to worry about professional representation. They'll just take anybody. They need to see you. So you absolutely can get around doing pop-ins by sending flyers or trifolds or whatever you want to call them. I just want you to understand, statistically speaking, about 90% of those are going to end up in the trash.
Right. No, so like the postcard would be something that I would drop off
Okay,
for a pop-in. Not so it'd be like a hand delivered thing, not anything that's being mass distributed
perfect,
in the mail.
perfect. The value in the pop-in, it's not about the bag. It's not about what you say. It's not about any of that stuff. The value lies in them being able to look at you. I mean, I'm saying this, we're not supposed to judge each other by our looks, but this is human nature. they're able to look at you and say, she presents professionally. I wouldn't mind sending somebody like this out. The work comes, the hard part comes because you, for the next 12 months, need to be following up with that monthly shout out. That's the hard part. It's not the pop in. And I will tell you, Shayla, that I have learned over and over and over and over and over and over again that the only way to get through the fear of doing a pop in is by doing a pop in. I know you don't want to hear it.
No, I know that. I mean, like,
Yeah,
Jen, I've been listening to you for like 2 years.
I know.
So it's like I know it, but there's a difference between knowing it and like doing it and like,
Well, I am so proud of you because you have done it in front of people. And most folks, what I would have said, I would rather tell one person what it is I do, a receptionist, than stand up in front of a group of 50 people networking and give them my elevator pitch. I'm the opposite, right? I mean, and we all have our own things that we get nervous about. I just want you to know, I'm not telling you you have to do the pop in. I just want you to know the lift is heavier and you're really going to have to lean into your follow-up emails. Okay. Go into that marketing calendar in the classroom, pull up. It's at the very bottom in the resource section. You'll get the PDF of it. Have you pulled it up yet?
I
Okay,
actually did print out the first or I printed out March and April.
cool. Those topics are things you can talk about in those follow-up emails. The first one, of course, should be I'm the one that sent the trifold or the flyer or whatever you're
Mhm.
doing. I'm the one that sent the email, or if you pop in, I'm the one that popped in. Um, let them know who you are. Do you mind if I stay in touch with you once a month? Let them know your intention to stay in touch with them once a month. You're not over sending emails. You're not going to reach out to them once a week. I would love to stay in touch with you. Let me know, or I'm planning on staying in touch with you. If that's an issue, let me know, or however you want to word it for yourself that sounds more natural. But just let them know you would like to stay in touch with them. And you're going to see about probably an 80% return rate on that. And that's just, I don't have like solid numbers on that. Like that's just my guesstimate from talking to so many notaries over the years, where they'll be like, sure, that's fine, because it's easier to say, sure, that's fine about staying in touch than responding with, no, I'm not interested in staying in
Mhm.
touch. And then do that. Stay in touch with those people that found value in that flyer. It's not going to be everybody. It's not going to be
Yeah.
everybody, but the ones that say they want to hear from you once a month, stay in touch with them with that value added email. And as you do more of it, it will grow. It'll snowball a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. We'll say yes. And you'll see. Oh, Jen said she's had about an 87% sure that's fine response in general. And yeah, I would say that sounds, that sounds about right. Um, but make sure you are following up, and not just once and not just twice, but every month for 12 months. And then you can decide, do I want to stick with this for another 8 months, or 6 months or a year, reaching out to this person even though I've heard nothing back from them? Or do I want to just move on to somebody else and put my efforts somewhere else?
Mhm.
But a lot of people get lost that the pop in is what attracts the business. That's not what attracts the business. What attracts the business is them hearing from you once a month, and you are providing them with valuable information. And they're like, oh, this chick is like consistent. She keeps showing up. She's not just popping in and then disappearing. She's every month coming back for more and more and more, right? And
Mhm.
not letting me forget. I mean, it's impressive on their end. Think about the people that do that to you.
Yeah.
the businesses that approach you that way. So set your intention for a year. I can tell you at the 3-month, 6-month, and 9-month mark, you are going to have a complete crisis about this isn't working. This isn't right. I've not heard back from folks. I don't know what to do. It happens every 3 months consistently. And you really got it. That's one of those hard moments as an entrepreneur that you've really got to push through. You've really got to push through it. Don't, just because they're not responding doesn't mean you're not making a difference. And we forget that a lot.
Okay.
So how does that sound?
That sounds, I mean, it sounds good.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I won't have a lot of some of my marketing materials until like maybe close to May, but I mean, just the power in walking in, introducing myself, grabbing their business cards to be able to stay in touch, you know,
Mhm.
and having just a little something to leave with them. You know, I can do that. So,
You can. I know you can. I know you can. If you can get up in front of a room of 50 people and deliver your amazing elevator pitch, I know you can do it. And I'm not, listen, girl, it's going to feel awkward. You're going to be, I'm like not normally a sweater unless I'm really nervous about something, but I literally would have like man sweat in my under my arms and everything when I first started doing this. I'm like, what, like what's happening? Like I need to like stand here with like my arms and legs spread out so that I cool off for a second. Like it was just, it's so nerve-wracking. So I totally get it. But the lift, the work is in the 12 to 16 months of follow-up shout outs every month. That's where you get it. That's where the business comes from. And Shayla, are you doing trust delivery too?
you know, I haven't really, as far as like any sort of like education in the last 2 years, I mean, I've really fallen short. So I wasn't participating as much as I was, you know, initially when NBP started. And then, I mean, I had some things going on in my personal life that I just, which, I mean, you and I think I've talked about it, but I couldn't, when my personal life interferes with my
Yeah.
work life, like I will shut down.
Yeah.
So like I didn't do a whole lot of networking other than my one networking group. Um, and I kind of shut things out and then, yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're at a start over point, right? And and you're getting your materials ready for that and building a plan out. Just make sure that plan is a good, consistent 12 to 18 months, because that's where you're going to see traction and energy and effort, because it does take that to make it happen
okay.
for you. Um, Let me write this down so I don't forget. Jen, did you have something?
Well, I wanted to tell a tiny little story about specifically the email marketing and what can happen from your efforts of being consistent. Um, I do follow the whole, you know, I have a process of making a connection, and specifically with estate planning attorneys, I want to talk about, not so much title offices, but I have a process, and that process first begins with a crap ton of research about these people. So I have something I can tie into in my first email. But when I'm on my rotation of people getting emails from me on a monthly basis or whatever, and like I said in the chat, after a year of no response, they go on an annual list. I've been doing that for 2 years now. So I have maybe 5 attorneys locally that are on an annual list. I was at a networking event for an attorney out of my town, and one of the attorneys I had been trying to market to and trying to get a conversation with, happened to be at that event and heard me talking to the attorney that was hosting the event. And she and I have become friends. And so we were chit-chatting and talking, and he stepped into the conversation and said, "Wait a second, are you Jennifer Cooper with JKC Mobile Notary?" And I said, "Yes." He goes, "You have been in my inbox for nearly a year. I said, well, isn't it nice that we get to meet in real life? And it was an amazing thing to have something I had been doing. I needed that. I needed that to remind myself that this can work, that this can be a functioning system that I have, that they're not deleting my emails. They're reading them. They're just not responding. And so to have that transition into a real life meeting with this person who knows the tone of my conversation based on the emails that he gets from me, that's how he recognized me from this, because I don't send my picture except what's in my, email signature. But that guy I have been emailing for 2 years, and he has been just non-responsive, non-committal, non-nothing.
But it doesn't mean he's not paying attention.
That's right. That's right. And I have now had a meeting in his office, met all of his attorneys, met his girls, and they call me when the clients do not want to come to the office. They call me when the clients are in nursing facilities. They call me when their notaries are not, for whatever reason, can't do it. I get a call from him twice a week. That's after 2 years,
right?
This guy.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yep.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yep.
I love that. And that's the power of consistency with that follow-up, which is 100% where we all struggle. Elaine, I see your hand up. Rachel, you had your hand up. But it's down now. Did we get your question answered? Rochelle, I don't know why I said Rachel. Is it Rachel or it's
Rochelle.
Rochelle, that's what I thought. Okay. And then I looked and went, wait, maybe it is Rachel.
No.
Did you get your question answered?
I didn't really have a question. It's just that I've been really busy networking.
Good.
And yeah, and it's actually starting to somewhat pay off.
Yeah.
And at this one real estate office here in town, excuse me, I'm known as the notary.
The notary.
And yeah.
The notary.
Yeah, the notary. In fact, the gal said, "Oh, the notary, I need your business card." I'm like, okay. So I walked around and gave her my business card.
Like, here, have 12. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think I gave her like 2 of them. And I did a really cool Valentine's Day gift to all of a pop-in to all of the escrow offices around here. And I don't think a notary has ever done that. I had people so blown away. All the gals that I gave my gifts to, they
Really?
Yeah.
That's so. What part of Washington are you in?
I'm in Marysville.
I'm not sure where that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm north of Everett.
Okay, so you're up north.
I'm up north. Yes, I'm like an hour away from Anacortes.
Okay.
Where Bill lives.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like in between Seattle and Bill.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like in the middle.
Yeah, that's unusual because, we've been canvassing title offices for a decade now or more. But I'm so glad that they're responding to it and sending you the business. Congratulations. Keep those folks on your once a month shout out list.
Yes. In fact, I got my St. Patrick's Day figured out, and my son grew up playing baseball. And so I'm also going to do the opening day of baseball because we have the Seattle Mariners here.
Yes.
And I'm going off of the theme of take me out to the ball game.
Oh, love it.
And so I'm doing peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
Yes. You can go to the dollar store here. I'm assuming in Washington too, the $1.25 store now, and they sell Cracker Jacks, a box of 3 of them for $1.25.
Oh, I was just going to go to Costco and get a whole big box.
There you go. Do your thing. Yeah. Whatever works. But yeah, it's inexpensive, but what's more American than Cracker Jacks and baseball, right? Like, that's amazing. I love that idea.
Yeah. And then I'm going to wear my son's Mariners jersey and take one of his bats and one of his hats and walk in there. And so dress the part for opening day of baseball. So I'm just really excited that you lit my fire for all this kind of stuff. And it's starting to come back. And yeah, So I just wanted to kind of toot my horn because I haven't been around.
You
in these
should be
meetings.
tooting your horn. You're allowed to toot your horn. That's okay. Pat on the back. I mean, listen, we beat ourselves up, Rochelle, when we make a mistake or we don't do what we say we were going to do. We sit around and we're like, you know, all the mental gymnastics and that happen in our head and we make ourselves feel bad or, you know, we had something that didn't go the way we wanted it to. We should be spending that much time celebrating ourselves when things go right. So you should be. I mean, anytime you want to get on here, we're on here every Wednesday. Toot your horn, girl. Toot toot. I get it. It's fine.
Thank you.
It is fine. So, hey, Lorraine, what you got for us today?
There he goes. Hi there.
Hey,
Hi, this is my first session with you.
I'm so glad you're
Okay.
here.
Finally. And I think intuition told me to be here because the USP, I need to do that because I just am joining a senior care network.
Oh,
It's
love it.
phenomenal. And it's people from all different areas of residence, hospice, Parkinson's, various areas, real estate.
Mhm.
And I nervously gave my introduction to myself, the last one meeting, and I'm going to luncheon next week. So this will be perfect for me to work on that so that I
Hey.
can hone that skill.
Looking for the rules a little bit later today. They will be out, just the setup of it, but you can get in there anytime and start that USP video and make sure you know, got it written down. And, you know, like the one Shayla did that's kind of rhymey, which I just love. That's more for a networking event. It's perfectly fine to have 2 or 3 different elevator pitches. Maybe one you use for your pop-in, one you use for networking, one you use just, you know, maybe you network with real estate agents at this group and attorneys at this group. You might want to have a different one for attorneys. That's okay. Or different versions of them. It doesn't have to be just one thing. So hopefully this contest will help you get that USP written out and make you more comfortable with it. And we will be practicing on this call when we come together every week on Wednesdays.
Yes. And from that meeting that I went to a couple weeks ago, I did make some contacts. And there are 3 in particular. One is a retirement home, one is hospice, and the other one is a 62 plus apartment building. So I have contacted them. My thought was, first of all, do lunch and learn. And also at the hospice, doing a staff meeting, which somebody actually approached me to tell them what needs to be done when the people are having their documents notarized. So I guess my thing now, since I've contacted them and it's like, oh, well, I'm not actually handling this, you know, Susie Jane or whatever is handling it. And then no call back from Susie Jane. So would you suggest more phone calls or emails, or what's my approach to really get to this point with these people?
To be able to do a lunch and learn, or
Yes, yeah, the lunch and learn, and then in the hospice, the staff.
well, I think your entry point is asking who is in charge of planning those kind of activities.
Right, and I've done.
And starting with that person versus just talking to the receptionist and then getting passed around. So I think it's just asking the receptionist, I mean, introduce yourself. I'd love to talk to your activities director or your head social worker or whoever it is that is in charge of planning either in-service days or activities for the residents.
Right, and I do have the names.
Okay.
I do have the
I think
name.
I'm confused on your question then.
Oh, okay, so I have the name of the activities directors.
Okay.
Or the staff person. I do have those names. So now, and I've left the message that here I am, and so-and-so referred me to them, but not hearing back. And
totally normal.
So I'm trying to figure out, do I follow up with more phone calls? Do I email? It's both.
Both. So I would suggest sending an email. How long has it been since you've the initial contact?
It's been about a week and a half.
Okay. So definitely send that follow-up email out, introducing yourself, your intention, and spelling it out for them. And what I mean by that is, for example, if you want to do a lunch and learn, you need to let them know that you are the one bringing in the lunch, that you're not expecting them to do that, right? And what the value is of having you do that. How does your presence there benefit the residents or the staff, depending on who you're talking to?
Okay.
You've got to draw the line of what the benefit is so they can see it. You might see it, but they
Mhm.
may not see it.
Okay. So, okay, so maybe I'm calling it the wrong thing because at this point, I'm not going to be able to bring in lunch for, 20 or
Okay.
30 people.
So that's
So
the
I need
thing.
to
If
call
you're
it,
wanting to host a lunch and learn, 90% of them or more are going to think that you're bringing in the lunch,
okay.
right? If you want to talk to them while they are at lunch,
Uh-huh.
that's a different, don't call it a lunch and learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would say to you too, that's not the best time to be in front of people
Mhm.
because they're focused on eating. And I would venture a guess that that's also very much their social time.
Right. Okay.
So, what you could do, and I know funds you said are limited,
Mhm.
right? You could do this is the first thing that popped into my head. I know it's not summertime yet, but in the summertime, you could just do something as simple as like a popsicle break and get your cooler out, go to wherever you shop, get some popsicles and have them. Bye, Michelle. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. Michelle's got to go. Um, but you can just do something simple like that, or an ice cream sandwich, or something little that is more affordable that you can kind of buy in bulk and
Mhm.
just have like, or you could even do a tea break if you want to call it that,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and bring in tea bags or something. And, however, something small and affordable. But if you're going to call it a lunch and learn, they're going to make the assumption that you're bringing in a giant sandwich tray or something more expensive. So
Right.
language there is important.
Okay. Great. I like this with the tea break,
Uh-huh.
and then I don't have to wait till summer.
No.
It's cold here.
Yeah.
So,
Go
yeah.
get some tea, different flavors of tea, decaf and caffeinated.
Uh-huh.
Slice up some lemons. Do you have Sprouts there in Oregon?
I don't think so.
Grocery stores? Find like a like a Whole Foods or a more holistic kind of grocery store,
Yeah, we do have one. Uh-huh.
and they sell honey sticks for like 25 cents.
Okay.
And it's just honey and wax, and it's something that they can just break open and put in their tea.
Mhm.
That's something
Okay.
cute. You could even tie around that honey stick, put a little bow, punch a hole in your business card, and tie a little pretty bow around it with your business card on it,
Mhm.
so that the individual residents who use honey get to keep that.
I was actually thinking of making pop-in bags
Yeah.
uh, for each attendee.
Also, that's a great one. There's no wrong way to set that up.
Uh-huh.
Um, just make sure you're being clear on why you want to, and that why you want to come in and the message you're trying to deliver,
Okay.
and whether it's to staff or to residents,
Hmm.
because it sounds like you have a mixture of both there.
Right, I have some of each. The hospice is definitely staff. Hospital would be staff.
Yeah.
And then the senior living residences would be the people,
Yeah.
residents.
So be clear on it, and any business cards you get, you make sure, like I said to Shayla, you are following up for at least 12 months. Um, Bye, Jeanette. Have a good day. Make sure that you're following up with them consistently, and that's where that marketing calendar. Did you see where that was located?
I do know where it is. I did see it.
Okay. That's where that marketing calendar is going to kick in and give you something to write about each
Okay,
one.
great. Thank you for clarifying for me.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Come back and let us know how it goes. I love the idea of tea with seniors or,
Mhm.
tea time, because the younger kids' language, the vernacular is, oh, I've got the tea for you, which is gossip, right?
Oh,
So tea time, it kind of can have that double meaning. I don't know. That's how my brain works. Sorry.
and by the way, Rochelle did share, I think it was on the HPN, her Valentine bags, her little boxes. Oh my God. They were knockout. They were
What
great.
were they, Rochelle?
They were little like Chinese takeout boxes that I got from the $1.25 store.
Uh-huh.
And then I made Avery labels, and I said Happy Valentine's Day. And then if you flipped them over, it just said popping in, Happy
Oh,
Valentine's
that's
Day.
so
And I
cool.
posted them. I don't know if I can do that. I mean, if I shared my screen, I can pull them up.
Here, hang on. Let me give you permission to share. One sec.
Okay.
There you go.
I don't know how to do this, but
You doing
you
it?
guys see.
Oh, that's adorable. How cute.
And I made what I call popcorn delight. And it's popcorn and Fritos and roasted almonds. And then it's got like a vanilla bark, almond bark. I can't talk on it. And you let it sit overnight. And I stuffed that in the little bags right here.
Yeah. So please, I'm begging you, Rochelle, please post this picture with a description of what you did on Marketing for Notaries under the pop-in category. It'll ask you a category before you make a post on our discussion page. Put it under pop-ins. This is the kind of stuff I want to see. Shayla, same for you when you get your materials. Post this stuff. Lorraine, when you are out having tea time in your communities, make sure you're getting pictures. And this is the kind of stuff we want to share because it not only can we duplicate something like this in our own communities, but it sparks ideas, right? It's like, oh, this is what I could do. This is, instead of your mix, I could fill it with my sweet and spicy pecans that I make, right? Or
Right.
whatever somebody's specialty is. So please, I beg you, share this and anything you guys do. This is the kind of stuff we want to be swapping back and forth on the Marketing for Notaries page because it's so helpful to all of us.
And then this is what I did for senior centers. These little candy jars. And I got these at the
Can't see
$1.25.
the
I call it the
candy jars.
$1.25 store. Yeah,
Can't
they're
see the candy.
plastic.
Let's see. Are you showing us the candy jars?
Yeah, did it not work?
It's not showing up here. Put it where the boxes are. Are you using two screens? Oh, yeah, those are great. I love those.
Yeah.
These are the refillable ones, and I talk about this in the pop-in video. I always put these at businesses that I worked at regularly, but would also pass by in my everyday life. The title companies closest to me, the shipping centers closest to me, those kind of things. So it's not a hassle for you to go back and fill them up a couple of times a year. Right. And you should go back, fill them up a couple of times a year, right? Be the notary that pops in and I'm just here to fill up the candy jar.
Yeah. So, and then there was this was the tag that I stuck on the pop-in.
Oh, that is so cool. You did such a great job. I love it. And isn't it fun?
It is.
It's fun. And it's doing true or false, doing something like this, putting your energy into something like this and making it fun, um, makes you a little more excited about doing the hard work of popping in, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I had so much fun doing this, and
Yeah.
I had my son involved and his girlfriend, and my other coworker friend of mine, and
Very cool. I
yeah,
love that. Congratulations. Please do
thank
share
you.
this with our entire group for those folks that couldn't be on the call this morning. Let them know what you're doing, and it'll spark an idea with them, or they might be able to use this in their own town. This is such a great idea.
Yeah, and then for St. Patrick's Day, I'm gonna kind of do the label thing again, and I'm just gonna get like a box of cookies from the store
Mhm.
and take them to the same title companies. And I've got a green and scarf and a big blinky clover necklace that I got from the
Yep.
dollar store I'm going to
Yep.
wear, and clover glasses
Yep.
and thing in my hair. And
Jeanette's
yeah,
doing the same thing. She had to go, but she's doing the same thing. She got like the funky sparkle, like clover glasses, giant one,
uh-huh.
the little ear things, and it
Mm-hmm.
seems so silly, but once you see the first person react when you walk in and they are just grinning ear to ear, like how cute is that? It instantly does something, at least in me, and a lot of people I talk to about this, it does something to like calm those nerves. So Shayla, maybe that's the answer. Go get a crazy little headband that has clovers on.
Well, when I went to my first office, one of my the escrow assistant gave me a huge hug. It was like, oh my gosh, Michelle, thank you so much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that was ORT, Obi Public Title. And she actually sits on my old desk because I used to work there. And she was just like, oh my gosh, Michelle, this is so awesome. So that was kind of
That's
nice.
amazing. Keep it
Yeah,
up. Keep
thank
going
you.
and make sure you are getting out to different offices and that you are spreading this just beyond title companies.
Oh, I did. I went to that real estate company where I'm known as now the notary.
Mhm.
And I also went to a furniture store that I've known the owners forever. And where else did I go? Oh, I went to my FedEx. I went to my crew and gave them a
Mhm.
box of chocolate. And then I went to my local bank
Yep.
and gave them some stuff too.
Good for you. Awesome. I love this. Wow, that is really cool. You did a great job on these. I can't wait to see what you come up with in the future. Please continue to share with us. You are never over posting in Marketing for Notaries. Share, share, share these ideas. This is what we are looking for. Thank you, Rochelle.
You're welcome.
Do you have another question, Lorraine?
I do. I have a question for Rochelle.
Yes.
And
Odd.
did you say that you made all of these labels and so on with Avery labels?
Yes, I did. You can go to Staples and you can get them. Um, they're just shipping labels, like the white ones that are on the candy jars.
Uh-huh.
They're just shipping labels. And
Oh,
then I made also a generic business card so I wouldn't have to use my really nice business cards. And I made up, and then I punched a hole in them. And that's what I put on the front side of the box. I don't know if you saw that or not, because
right.
I didn't want to use, yeah.
Oh,
So
great.
cool.
Yeah.
I love that
And
you're
then,
getting kind of just using a different kind of business card that's a little less expensive just for the get like a gift tag, kind
yeah, I
of.
use it as a gift tag. It has all, it looks almost exactly like my normal card.
Mhm.
It's just a little bit different because I can't use the same stuff.
Right, just a
And
little
then,
different quality.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And then I also found out how to make your own tissue paper.
What?
Yeah, how to make your own
Oh,
tissue paper.
Well, you'll
I'm
have to put
following,
that up on the discussion board too, because I got to see that, how to make your own tissue paper. Wow.
yeah, my friend who my other fellow notary, she showed me this website or this gal on Instagram who's a realtor and does all these little pop-ins for her clients and her and her partner. And you use tracing paper is what you
Okay.
use, and you put it in your printer, and you use Canva or you can use Word, and you just put like your logo all over it, and then you pop it in your printer and it prints out. And here you have your little thing of tissue paper.
That's crazy. Oh my
I
God. I
know.
visual. Can you film that? when you're
Yeah.
doing it and put it on the Marketing for Notary site? Because I can't even picture that. I can see Shayla's face too. Is like, what? I want to see that in action. That's crazy. But yeah,
I'm
that
learning.
tracing paper is thin. It's very
Yeah.
thin. Yeah.
And the one that she has on her Instagram, she's, you know, done through trial and error because there's so many different thicknesses. And so this is the one that she recommended.
Love
And so I
that.
went out to Amazon, boom, bought it, got it delivered, and I haven't done it yet, but it's going to be
says-
used
Who says you
on
can't learn
baseball.
stuff on social media? That's amazing.
Oh yeah, I also put that gal's Instagram in there, so you could follow her, and she's got some
Absolutely.
really cool ideas.
Well, Rochelle, that's where I got the idea for pop-ins. The realtors call them pop buys here. This anyway. So I was like, let's call them pop-ins. Does that answer your question, Lorraine?
Yes, and just one more real quick, Rochelle.
Yes.
The cute little cards that you made, you know, that said pop in, and you know, they had the little scroll scallops around. Were those like Avery type things too, or where did you get that?
That was Avery also.
Avery label.
Yeah, I can't find them. Ah, here we go. Yes, Avery 80511 scalloped round tags.
80511.
Yeah. Oh, you can't see it.
Yeah, it's with your background's blurred. Very cool. 805. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
You. Wow. We all learned something
I'm
today.
gonna have to go shopping. Thank you. So that's
Right.
what
And
a
then the
favor.
size for the shipping labels are 3 1/3 by 4.
Mhm.
Very cool. Thank you for putting this in the Marketing for Notaries
Thank you
discussion
so
so we can
much,
all
Rochelle.
benefit. Yeah, I appreciate it, Rochelle. That's very cool. You did an outstanding job, and that's what makes Poppins fun, right?
I
Okay,
love it.
guys, we are going to wrap up. I want to honor your time and make sure we're not going over every week. But thank you for showing up early this morning. What a great session. It will be reposted in the Coffee Talk bucket, and we'll be back here next week. Is it next week? Let me just make sure. Yes, on the 12th, our Building Authentic Relationships call. Same time. We're here every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific. The one and only Jim Allen is going to be here talking about all these new issues with GBP. So you guys are going to want to make sure you are here for that. I will see you guys inside Marketing for Notaries. Thanks for being here. Bye.